Alright, welcome back. So in this video, we are going to start with the last thing of our course, which is deploying, right? So actually deploying is not really complex, but to actually deploy a site, there's one more thing that we need to fix, which is in our databases, right? So I'll just jump into what that is, right? So first of all, let me explain the problem. So a lot of us might have used directly GourMID. A lot of you might have used GourMID directly to make your app, Blogify app, right? And in there we had Mongo pre-installed, and hence you are not aware of the usage of something known as /data/db, right? So I'll write that is /data/db. So this is something which is an like integral part of the Mongo thing, which is that /data/db is the folder inside which all of your Mongo data, the data that you're saving in your database, is actually stored, right? And as the name suggests, this is in the root directory of your system, right? Of your system. And then there's this data directory inside the root directory. Then there's a DB directory inside that data directory. And in here, all of your data is actually stored. And that is why it's permanent, because it is stored somewhere on your computer. But the thing is, if you imagine, you do not want to store everything on your computer, right? If you're making an app, if you're making a professional app, it's obvious that you will not want to store everything on your very own computer. Plus, when you are going to like deploy that site online, it will be on someone else's server, right? It will not be our own server. Setting up your own server is a little complex. So it will be on someone else's servers. There's a site known as Heroku, which we'll use. So Heroku, just like Gourm has their computer set up somewhere, Heroku also has their computer set up somewhere, and we are going to run our server on their computer. So we'll basically be using their database, and we'll have to run MongoDB command on their computer, which is not something that you want to do. And anyway, if your computer crashes, your data gets lost. That's definitely not what you want. So So actually the thing is that you do not want to store everything on your very own computer, right? You want to store it in a cloud-based service. Now, is it possible to store things on cloud using Mongo? And do we have to change any syntax? So the answer to the first question is yes, it is possible. And answer to the second question is no, we do not have to change any syntax. Everything remains the same, because actually the cloud service that we are going to use is provided by Mongo itself, right? The only thing is we'll have to change the URL that we give for Mongo. So currently we give MongoDB : localhost 27017 and that long thing. So we'll just have to change that, right? So let's just start with it and you'll see what I'm talking about. So we'll set that up in this video, and then we'll deploy our site in the next video, right? So this is the site that you need to visit, www.mongodb.com. And I clicked on this by mistake. So when you visit the site, you will visit this page. Like this is the page that you'll get to, right, when you visit mongodb.com, and just click on Start Free, right? So they take you to this MongoDB Atlas sign up page, and this is actually the cloud-based service of MongoDB itself. And everything using the MongoDB Atlas is same. The only thing is you are saving your data in an online service rather than saving it on your own computer, right? So just sign up really quick, and I'll do AF web dev and great. First name I'll do AF. Last name will be, and then we'll have to make a password, and then I'll just agree to the terms of service and get started. Just wait for it to redirect you to somewhere. Great, so they now give us a welcome screen, and I'm sure they'll be redirecting us really soon. Right, So now they'll ask you to choose a path, etc. And of course, we are not going to take any paid plan for now. We're just going to do starting free, right? And you can leave everything as it is. Just choose your region if you want. Leave this to be AWS, right? And leave this to be same. Leave this to be same. Leave this to be same. You can change the cluster name if you want, but there's no need to actually do that. So click on create cluster, and now this will take some time to get created. So they're saying 1 to 3 minutes approx. I don't know if this is properly visible on screencast, but they are saying that it will take 1 to 3 minutes, right? So just wait for that amount of time, right? Okay. All right. So the cluster has been created, and now we can just simply work on integrating this with our code, right? So let's start with that. So that is actually really simple. All that you need to do is you need to click on connect, and it will guide you on what you need to do, right? So first of all, you'll have to whitelist a connection IP address, right? So it is only done in my case, and that is because let me tell you that this video is being recorded again. This particular part of the video is being recorded again due to a technical glitch in the original one. So you will have to enter an IP address, and you can just enter 0.0.0.0, right? And what that does is it allows all IP addresses to access your cluster, right? That's what you need to enter here, and then you just need to press yes on that or whatever there is, right? Then you need to create a MongoDB user, right? Everything from here on will be same in our cases. Only this thing is the different one, right? All right. So now I'll do username. The username I'll just keep AAF, right? Password I'll not do very secret thing. I'll just keep it something like this because there's no harm in actually having my password like this, right? Now I'll do create MongoDB user, and that is done. So now I'll do choose a connection method, choose connect your application, and then all you need to do is you just need to copy this URL right here, right? And our work here is done. Now what we need to do is we need to go here, and I had these files open for some reason. And now inside the mongoose.connect statement, right? Here's the mongoose.connect statement that we had. And there's this one comment env variables that I'll tell you what that is in just a moment. But instead of this thing right here, what I wanted to do is I wanted to paste the URL you just copied from there, right? And then for the DB name, cut it out, right? Blogify, right? And the password, just write whatever password you made for your user, right? So I just made password @123, right? So this is where environment variables will actually come in, that we are going to push this code to GitHub, right? Eventually. So, and if this is like a public repository and this is an open source project, then people will be able to see your MongoDB details. And while that is not a really big problem in my case, because the max that anybody can do is add a blog to my or connect to my database and use the data from there. And there's no sensitive data in my database right now, and that's why I've kept something like this. But you want to keep this as a secret when you're deploying your site, right? So what you need to do is you need to create an environment variable for this password. And that's why I've put this env variables comment up here, that just try to study what this is, Google what env variables are and how you can make them. And they're like a central thing to like programming, not just node specific, right? So now once this is done, we should be able to connect to our online server. Let's save, right? Now our Mongo does not, and Mongo and MongoD do not need to run, right? I'll show you that. I'll close them. And now only my nodemon is running, and you can see it says serving Blogify on port 3000. And now if I refresh my page, the only thing is my blogs vanish. And that is because now I am successfully connected to this particular online database. And here if I go to collections, I can see all the collections that I currently have, which are blogs and users, which are empty, right? And since there are no blogs in the database, I'm not getting anything. what I can do is I can go here, I can try to add a post. It tells me to log in first. So for that I'll have to register because there's no user in this current database, right? I can't use Rondo. I'll have to make Rondo all over again, right? So I'll make it. So it says welcome to Blogify Rondo. Now I'll go to add post and I'll say title of the post is test, content is content, image is image. Add post. It says added blog successfully. Now let's refresh this. And as you can see, a blog has been added here with the things that we had made it with, right? So this is basically the Mongo shell in a GUI version, right? So that's all that this is. And now we have successfully connected MongoDB Atlas with our app, and now our Mongo is cloud-based and everything else is the same. And now it doesn't matter which computer we're accessing our app from, the data will always remain the same, which is what we basically wanted, right? Great. So yeah, so this was all about using MongoDB Atlas. This is the tool and this is how you do it. So the connect will always be the same for any cluster. You'll just make a user, you'll copy the URL, you'll write your password in here, you'll write your database name in here, and that's done, right? Great. So yeah, so that's basically all for this video. In the next one, we'll see how you can deploy your app online on a particular URL, right? Great. So yeah, so that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next.